Hello and welcome, my fellow followers of chaos, to another Total War campaign focus, the series where I take a look at the first few years of a Total War campaign and show you what to expect and then deliver my opinions on the campaign itself. So today, as recommended by Joshua Jourdan, or requested rather, we'll be looking at the Langobards from the Longbeards DLC in the Barbarian Kingdoms culture. So yeah, last episode we looked at the Elements, which were also part of the Longbeards culture, or DLC. And there's quite a drastic change between these two. They start right next to each other. Literally, the Elements are right here. Langobards, right here. But as you can see, initial challenge hard, initial challenge easy. You may be wondering why that is. Well, the Langobards are almost impossible to invade unless you make an enemy with one of the surrounding kingdoms around you. Where the Elements, all of this is Roman. All of this is Roman territory, and they strike at you with a vengeance, let me tell you that. But with the Langobards, you have this buffer, huge buffer, where no one can really get to you. And it's quite nice. That's why their initial challenge is easy. So yeah, the faction leader is Lethuk. That's this guy right here. And just a heads up, if you guys want a more in-depth look at this faction, I have done a campaign and finished. I have done and finished a campaign with the Langobards. If you want to check that out. The religion is Germanic paganism. Okay, although it's not that great because it was the first campaign I ever did. But we won't talk about that. But here we go. This is a little description about them. They of course have the cultural trait New Kingdoms, just like all the other Barbarian Kingdoms, which is building conversion rate is minus 50%. Their faction trait, Godin's Chosen, includes Emancipators, doubled unit replenishment when taking on defeated troops, which is huge. And the Fury of our Maker's Hand, plus 10 unit morale when fighting against armies of other religions. So, yeah, the Emancipators is huge, because even from small battles, you'll be replenishing super quickly. If we take a look at their victory conditions, you can see they're exactly the same as any other Germanic faction. Germania, Radia, Noricum, 30 settlements, sack or loot, 2 different settlements, research 10 technologies, 5,000 from rating, 60 units. Easy. So without further ado, guys, let's get right into it. So everybody, welcome to the Langobards campaign. As you can see, if you take a look at the screen, you have one army in Aragilia, or however you pronounce that, led by your king. This army has 13 units, 1 being your Germanic Nobles General unit. We've seen those before. Germanic Levy, very basic unit that we've all seen. Langobard Clubmen, which are your first unique starting unit, which are heavy melee infantry. They have next to no armor piercing because they have clubs, of course, but they do nice damage and they have excellent armor and melee defense. So these will be these are definitely someone you want to be holding a line. Horse Hewers, which are actually an anti-cavalry unit. These are another unique unit, and as you can see, they have a pretty good charge. These guys would be good against infantry too, but it's just that if they get attacked by cav, they can chop them down pretty nice. Young Wolves are very quick. Actually, they're not much faster than anybody else, but they have rapid advance, so that makes them a bit faster. They're good for flanking. They do a lot of damage and a lot of attack, so these guys are very good at flanking and stuff. I wouldn't hold them in a line though, because as you can see, their defense and armor and health is kind of low. Then you have 2 units of Germanic Bows and Germanic Brigands, and 1 unit of Germanic Warband, and those are not unique. So then you have a second army, which consists of Germanic Nobles, 2 units of Langobard Clubmen, 2 units of Young Wolves, and 2 units of Germanic Hunters. Again, these are the 4 unique units. Nothing else is new there. If we take a look at your starting settlement, you can see that you start off with a Torp, a Sacred Ground, and an Artisan. So quickly, you have some nice options for expansion. One of these buildings, yeah, I mean, like if you went for the technology, you could get Langobard Clubmen pretty quickly, or you could even go for Horse Hewers, depending. I think Clubmen would be the smarter choice for the beginning, but that's just me. If you take a look at diplomacy, you start off at war with nobody. That's another thing about the Elements with their hard start. They start at war with the Vandals, which have an army right here, so you got to fight them pretty quickly, or pretty early on rather. But you start off at trading with the Elements. You start off very friendly with the Markomans, and Varinians are also very happy towards you. The Saxons and the Thuringians aren't the biggest fans of you, although they will be. The Saxons are usually one of your first enemies. And finally, if we take, well, not finally, if we take a look at their technology, you can see it's the same tech tree all the German factions have. Of course, just the names of buildings and units are different. And then to close off, we look at the faction or family tree. So you have your king, Lethuk, and then you have a son and a daughter, Ulrich and Ingetrude. I don't know. You have 2 other nobles and 3 candidates. So yeah, guys, that's the beginning of the campaign. I'll get back to you when we get a little bit further. So guys, due to the Langobards being part of the Longbeards DLC, a year into the campaign, they start the Lay of Yabor, which is a unique event chain that can build a character for your faction. Now, either, depending on your choices, he either becomes a great general or a very nice governor, or somewhere in between, I believe. So, I'm gonna be showing you all the different things. If you wish to read this, it's here on the screen. Basically, Yabor is going out into the wilderness to learn to become a man, and the king gives him, or well, we're the king, I guess. What gift do we give him? A fine sword or a brooch? Now, in the Elements campaign, I gave Yabor all the military things and made him more of a general. So I'm going to make him more of a governor type character. So I'm going to give him a brooch, and we'll see as this tale goes on further. So here we have the next part of the Lay of Yabor. He goes over into the woods and he notices there's a huge fire and a bunch of farmers are around. So either you can go through the fire yourself, or you can get these guys to fight the fire. So again, I think the wiser thing to do would be to fight the fire. So I think this would make him a better governor. So we'll get further in. So we're into the next part of the Lay of Yabor. With the fire quelled, the farmers are very happy with you, and they beg you to return to the court of their king. So once you get there, you get the choice of joining a priesthood or something. Taking position of advisor. Yeah, courts him for the priesthood. So basically, you either join the priesthood or take the king's offer of becoming a advisor. And I think the advisor is a better option, so we're going to take that. And I'll see you as I get further. So here we go. We've finished the Lay of Yabor, and we received the Poet of Godin. So there you go. There's a little description about how happy he makes everybody and stuff. So actually, let's go look at his stats. And that was in our capital. So there he is, Yabor, the Poet of Godin. So he got marksman for some reason. That's a bit random. So +1 for missile unit recruits. He's stupid, apparently, so he has more loyalty but less cunning. He's melancholic. Yeah, so he's a little upset, apparently. He has more authority but less zeal. And here you have Godin's tongue, his special trait. So +5%, or +5 per influence earning situation. Holy cow! 7 authority. Recruitment cost -20% and -15% personal influence. So even as a general, he'd be very useful. And he has the war cry ability. So that's actually quite nice. So yeah, guys, just a little update on what's going on. Within the first 2 turns, I took Tulafurdum. I transferred all the units from this army into my king's army and attacked Tulafurdum. And then I built a bunch of young wolves as fast as I could, and we took Tulafurdum in the first couple of turns. I built a second army here. Oh, well, basically a garrison army to make Tulafurdum happy. And then I've sent my king's army over into Britain. So we're going to get some money from here and stuff. And yeah, just a quick thing. I would recommend taking out the Saxons as early as possible, because they don't start with the largest army in the world. So you can easily overpower them and take Tulafurdum without losing many men. But anyway, guys, we're going to get further into this campaign, and I'll see you then. So, guys, welcome to a little siege that's taking place pretty much at the end of the 5 years. I just wanted to show you guys the 2 unique units that are in this army, just so you get an idea of what they are like and what you'll be dealing with. So here's the Langobard clubmen. As you can see, very well armored, huge shields. You can understand why they can hold their own pretty well. Of course, that's the club. It's wood, so you're not going to be doing much damage. But of course, when you're just a holding unit, you don't really have to worry about that much. Then you have the young wolves, which you can see here. Complete opposites. Lots of damage, lots of attack, but like no armor and hardly any defense. They do have a good missile block chance because of those big shields. But that's pretty much all they have going for them in terms of protection. These guys are beasts, so. And of course they have rapid advance, so they have plus 50% speed. And then there's nothing really special about any of the other units. They're all basic. We've seen them all before. But of course, there's the King Lethuk himself with that nice eye patch. Look at that guy. He doesn't give a shit. But anyway, guys, I'm just going to fight this battle, and I'll see you at the end of the campaign. So everybody, it's been 5 years. We're at the spring of 400 AD, and we've had quite the journey, as you can see. Just to explain what I've done, we started in Aragelia, of course, with our king and another army led by, I believe it was this guy. Of course, they look exactly the same. So quickly, I transferred all the forces out of this army into my king's army, and they went and besieged Tulafurdum. And then I started raising more young wolves in this army. The next turn, I joined with them in Tulafurdum, and we took it. Then, with that, I sent this army back to Aragelia, whatever, to govern it, make it a bit more happy. But as you can see, public order is going down for some reason. And then I built a new force to occupy Tulafurdum to make that happy, and that's going quite well. So then we went down this way. I attacked Colonia Agrippina, and let the Gauls become their own faction. Then we went down here, raised this. I went into England, sacked, and actually I raised that, and the Saxons actually resettled it. So good job, CA, for with the new patch. People actually resettle stuff now. So then I left Britain because it became a bit of a hassle staying up there. And geez, look at this. Ibdanians, Jutes, and Saxons. That's kind of silly. Who owns this then? The Jutes as well. And who owns that? No one. So that's quite interesting that they're all up there. So then I went down here, took Rhodomagus, came down here, took Taronum, and then a bunch of Romans came and messed that up. So screw those guys. Then I just kept pushing, sacked this, although it's doing a lot better now apparently. And then I sacked Alusa, and that's the battle that you guys seen, and that's where my king ended up. And we lost a lot of men for some reason. But yeah, guys, that's 5 years of conquest. Now to give some tips and deliver my final judgment. Like I said earlier, definitely take the fight to the Saxons as early as you can if you're going to take them, and I would recommend taking them because Tulafurdum is a nice settlement to have. If you're going to do it, yeah, strike them fast and strike them hard because they start with less forces than you, actually, in their settlement. They have an army that starts out in the ocean, in the English Channel, I believe. It starts about here. So they're not going to get to you very quickly. You can take Tulafurdum, they'll be scared and run off into Britain somewhere. Or in my case, they resettled in Britain. But anyway, and basically just make friends with people and quickly work your way through so you can take some land. Like everyone's dealing and fighting the Romans, like the Alamans. My God, pretty much the whole campaign they were under siege by a bunch of Roman forces, so they must have crushed them and pushed them back. So I started pushing around here. I guess they built more forces because there's some here and a big one here. Well, that's not that big of a deal. And yeah, so my verdict. Would I recommend this campaign? Yes, definitely. I've already done a full campaign on it, so it would be kind of stupid if I didn't recommend it. I haven't played as the third Longbeard faction, which is the Burgundians, I believe. They're over here. Or actually, this is the Burgundians here. I haven't played as them yet, so I don't know if these are horrible or better than the Alamans and the Langobards, but both factions are very fun. And yeah, I would definitely recommend the Langobards, and they actually have an easier start, so you'd probably have a better time playing as them than the Alamans. But yeah, there's not much difference between them, of course. So yeah, guys, this has been the Langobards campaign focus video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please be sure to leave a comment down below telling me which campaign or faction, or campaign or culture you would like to see next. This has been Overkill as always, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.